Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Sean, and in this channel I try to do things differently. I try to be as transparent as possible, sharing my results and the exact strategies that I used that took my first KDP brand to multiple six figures a year, which I eventually sold for $820,000, which you can see right here. Every single thing that I do, I document it in this playlist called KDP Income Reports, so you guys can go and check that out. And now I'm building my second KDP account. So this is the income report for October for my second KDP account. And once again, every single thing is in the income report playlist. So if you guys want to check it out, the link is somewhere in my YouTube channel. So if you enjoy no BS publishing advice from someone who's actually doing it, then make sure to subscribe. And with that being said, let's get right into the October income report. So real quick, why I make these videos? Well, I want to be as transparent as possible. I want to share the good and the bad as well. And in this month particularly, I still made money, but for me, the way I look at it, it wasn't the best month for me in my KDP business. So that I want to share you what I've done and the lesson that I've learned, and I want to share that to you so you don't go and make the same mistake that I've made. Okay, I never want to be the guru that teaches people what to do, but then they're teaching publishing, but the last time they published a book was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. There's a lot of people like that, and I don't want to do that, and that's why I still publish myself, still keeping up to date with all the changes that Amazon's making so that I can teach you guys the best ways. Okay, I also find these videos motivating, so I do it. I love watching other people making income reports, so I do it myself too. Even if I had a bad month, I still want to share it. So with that being said, this is a new KDP account. I started in January. The first book that I published was in February, and I spent around 0 to 30 minutes a day working on it because a lot of the stuff is outsourced, but every single day I work on at least something every single day. Total, I have 29 books. So I published basically 2 books in October. One was like a low content book. Another one was a high content book. So total, I have about 8 high content books. All right, so this is my October dashboard, as you can see here. And basically, it says 30 books, but it's actually 29 books, I think, for October. The way it works is I'm in December right now. It's December for me as I'm filming this, and I have 30 books at the moment. And when you look back in your old reports, it doesn't really update, how much books you had in prior months or whatever period that you're looking at. So it's actually 29 books, I think, or 28 books. I forgot what it was. But in total, I made $8,561. And you can see that it's growing pretty good every single day, right? The trend is going up. But I'll tell you why this wasn't really great for me and for my KDP business. But for now, that's the total revenue. And this is the breakdown of how much each book's made. So my top book made $3,269 from just that one book. This is a high content book. This is actually my first book that I ever published for the second KDP account. Now, this is also a high content book, and this one is very, very interesting. By the way, this is my second ever book that I published on the account, and then this is the Spanish version of that book. So you can see that, the first book I ever published, making the most money. The second book I ever published is my second bestseller. Why is that? Well, the longer it stays on Amazon, it's good books. It gets positive reviews. So I'm collecting 4 or 5-star reviews. These books are approaching, I think this one has 200 reviews now. I think this one has 130 reviews. The more reviews it gets, the more sales I generally make, because it's easier to convert it with ads and everything. So that is why older books, that's why it's great with publishing, is old books typically picks up over time if it's a good book. So these ones are also high content, high content, high content, and I believe this too is low content books. So generally speaking, these are all high content books. And that's always the case. High content books, typically makes more money than low content books if you're just comparing one book with another book. With low content, you got to do much more in volume. And if you like doing that, then it can be great. But I like to make more from few books rather than little bit from a bunch of books. All right, now going into ACX, I've made $484.58. So this actually increased from last month because I've uploaded more books. I'm passing out the promo codes. I'm getting reviews. And so that is really nice to see that this number is growing. So Another thing is aggregate sales. So I have books on Ingram Spark. I have books on other stores outside of Amazon that added up to $255.93, mainly from Ingram Spark, and that is adding up. So total revenue was $9,314.76. So if you just look at the revenue, this is amazing, right? Now I have a six-figure a year business if I can maintain this. But that's not really the case because of what I'm about to show you next. But first, let's go into the breakdown. So what I've done is I increased my biz and budget on Amazon ads a lot, like a lot. We try to push our books hard for Q4. This didn't really work though, and I guess I'll go into it a little later. But we took a lot of loss in terms of ACoS, and we're losing a ton of money from ad side, but we increased our books BSR a lot, and so the organic ranking went up. But was this worth it? I'll tell you, I don't know, because like with the US ads, you can see that I've spent $6,037. The ACoS was 86%, so very, very high. I mean, we're losing money from the Amazon ads side. Obviously, the organic sales picked up too, but we also started running UK ads to expand on our ads, right? So now we spend another $830 from UK as well, provided that the ACoS is a little better on the UK side, 59%. So not too bad as the US, but because of that, the total profit is still only $2,447. So it's basically the same as September and all the other months where I'm averaging between $2,000 to $3,000 a month in profit, right? So even though I made almost $9,000 or more than $9,000 in revenue, a lot of that is ad spend. So it's not the best ratio when it comes to ads to profit. So I definitely think this was a mistake in pushing as hard, and I would say this month was a loss. This month was not a very good month, okay? And so my thoughts on this is, just because you're running ads and just because running ads increases organic sales, yes, that is true, but it doesn't mean that you can completely ignore how much you're spending, right? We were kind of caught up with the whole Q4 boost that everybody talks about, and it does happen, and we try to ride that wave, and we spent a ton of money on ads hoping that we can catch that wave. And so we weren't as careful on our spend, and we didn't monitor the ad spend as closely as we should have. And this was a big mistake. As you can see, we way overspent. Typically, we want our ads to be between 30 to 50% of revenue. Okay, so that means if I made $9,000 in revenue, we want our ad spend to be between $3,000 to $4,500, and our ad spend was way more than that. So that was not good. Another thing I would say is the reason why this push didn't work is because my books are evergreen books. It's not really books that does well in Q4. So it's one of those books, like if you got Christmas books and if you got very seasonal books that sells amazing on Q4, I think this would have worked. If you push it harder on Amazon ads, yes, sales will go up. But for me, in my case, all my books are evergreen. It's not like people buy more of my books in Q4 specifically. So pushing it hard for Q4 didn't really do much. So for the next month, which I'm already in December, so I know the results for this, but I'll be filming the November report in the next video, and you guys will see the improvements based on the change that we made. But the plan for scaling, was to get more books up on ACX because I still had more books, start Ingram Spark, optimize ads for profitability, add back-end offers, which I've done. It was working great. Do more bundles and test low content and shorter high content books. So that is it for the October report. If you guys are excited for November, make sure to subscribe because that is coming up next. And November is much better, I'll tell you that. But I want to ask you guys, how did you do in October? Comment below. I read comments on the first hour of my video being posted, and I often reply back. So if you have any comments, questions, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed these videos, make sure to like, subscribe, and before you go, I want to invite you guys to join my free Facebook group. I have a free Facebook group. Anybody can join and mastermind with other publishers, ask any questions, as well as just by joining, you're going to get a free bonus, which is a how to generate lasting income on Amazon KDP through what I coin as book stacking. This is a case study on how I took my first KDP business all the way up to $35,000 to $40,000 every single month. I was making $35,000 to $40,000 every month for the entire 2021 until I sold it close to $1 million. So this is a strategy that I coined as book stacking, and I'll be sharing you guys that in this case study if you join the Facebook group. So the link is in the description, as well as if you want to learn more about my complete publishing program, the link is right next to that Facebook group link in the description, alongside with all the tools and resources that I use for my publishing business, also in the description. So that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will go and film the November income report right now. So I'll see you guys in that one.